We are live, ladies and gents. We've got the lovely Dave. This is an all-time first. He might join in. I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else, but not for me. Love was out to get me. That's the way it seems. Disappointment haunted in my dreams. Then I saw her face. I'm a believer, not a trace. Not in my mind. I'm in love. Ooh. I'm a believer. I can leave her if I try. There we go. That's all you're getting. Good afternoon, Dave. How the devil are you, mate?
I'm all right. I'm not too bad. I've been a bit under the weather recently, if I'm honest, but the sun is out. I'm well on the mend. So and absolutely delighted to be here. So yeah, I'm good.
Fantastic. And congratulations.
Oh yes.
On getting married. Yeah. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Yeah. So we're live here on LinkedIn, and we're going to be chatting to Dave all about his use of LinkedIn, and we're going to find out why he's a collaboration junkie. I'm dying to know. First off, though, why on earth did you choose that song?
Well, you know what? There were a few others I could have gone for, but they were a bit more. Half the World Away by Oasis is a particular favourite, as is Good Riddance by Green Day. But the reason for going for that one was because I mentioned I've been a little bit under the weather, and so I thought, no, let's go something nice, high energy. Get the 15 minutes off to a nice jumping start. So it was
absolutely
that was my main reason for doing it. So
and the added benefit of you being able to sing along, because the trouble is, right? Because there's some sort of delay. I can't think what the word's gone now. Latency. So there's some latency in the broadcast, but because I left a gap, it seemed seamless. It'll be fine. We won't need to cut it out. So Dave, yeah, you've been using LinkedIn. So how long have you been on LinkedIn?
So I've been on LinkedIn for years, but had been probably part of the 95% or however many it is. There was about 10 years ago when I worked for the Chamber of Commerce, I kept my network really, really tight. And part of the benefit of joining the Swindon Chamber of Commerce would be that I'd say to people, look through my LinkedIn profile. I know everyone on there personally. You can I'll make introductions and things. My role changed. I did different things. But I have been actively using LinkedIn properly for 18 months. I'd say I've been kind of really using it. Yeah.
So since lockdown.
Well, so it's pre-COVID.
Okay.
It was last February.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know specifically because I decided to do something different in my kind of business life, and put it out there on LinkedIn almost as right. I've said I'm doing it now. Like, yeah, that's it. I'm doing it. It's out there, and it's just kind of snowballed from there, really.
So you're another one of these people that use LinkedIn as an accountability buddy.
Yeah, well, you know what? Only that time, but it works, to be fair. So yes, you know what? There has been the odd occasions. I'm someone who needs that. That's why I've got a kind of a whole mastermind group that's really geared around that, and then 2 or 3 different offshoots of different things that all have that wrapped in them. I do need that. But yeah. So I suppose it is another one of my many list of things to just try and get me doing what I need to be doing. So.
No, I love that. I think that's great. So do you use other social media?
So not particularly, if I'm being honest. Not from a business sense. No, not really. Just time to be honest with you.
So here's a question then. Do you feel really bad that you don't use any others because everyone says, "Oh, you've got to use this and you've got to use that," and I'm just like you. Jonathan, you made it. Hi, thanks for coming along. Hi, Odessa, good to see you too. So yeah, I totally agree. If you're going to do it properly, and if that only means one platform, then does it matter? And I'm sure people on the chat might come in with a different answer, but no, but you're doing LinkedIn well. Is it working for you?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, could I be doing better with it? Absolutely. It could be much more strategic about what I'm doing, and I'm starting to do that much more. But yeah, absolutely. I built my outside of the people that I'm connected with, it kind of in actual physical groups. Well, and then they moved online. It's where I've built my whole new brand, and getting out there has pretty much almost entirely been done on LinkedIn. So yeah, I think it's working for me. I'm happy. Yeah.
No, good. So how often do you post your own content on LinkedIn?
Oh, so it varies. It varies, but I would say typically 3 times a week.
Yeah. And you do
if I'm on a decent
videos.
goal, sorry?
I said, and you do videos.
Yes. So that was an interesting one. And that's really where stuff started to build. I used to do something called Rants of the Week, and I used to do them almost weekly. And what that was about was knowing I had to do video, but just I'm not a kind of stand in front of a camera, do something that's scripted and polished for 5 minutes kind of thing. That's just not me. And so my rants of the week were just something where I could deliver for 90 seconds, just me on a phone. And it was just getting over that fear of doing video. And now I love it. So for anyone who's worried about doing videos, just get something out there, because now I really enjoy doing videos because they're ace. It's fun kind of thing. You get good engagement.
Absolutely. And then you can do your own show. It's just incredible. And look, this is purely unrehearsed. I've got a slide here I just want to put up as you mentioned it. You brought it up. So we have got on Friday, I think we said 9:45. I've got Lucy coming in, because I was chatting to Lucy the other day, and she wants to do more video, but she's absolutely whatever the word is, I don't, but she's not keen on doing it. And so I was chatting to her, and I said, should we go live now? She went, oh my god, no, not now, but I would like a go. So we're doing a live, and we're just going to sit here on LinkedIn, and we're going to talk about doing live videos. So that's what we're going to be doing, because until you have a go, you don't know. And your rants of the week are brilliant. So they need to come back, mate. They need to come back, because they're good.
You know what? I think I found that because they typically had a business angle to them. They're about things in the business world in general. Not all of them. Some of them were a little bit more personal, like when you get the strap of your laptop bag caught on the handle brake on the way out. That's not very business related. That's very first world problem related. But in general,
but we've all done it.
Yeah, exactly, right? But I've got through a lot of them now, so I'm getting guest ranters. Typically, when I do it now, I get someone else in who's got a particular beef. So yeah, there are a few more on their way. There's a few more on their way. So
fantastic. Oh, that's good news. When do you find the best time to post on LinkedIn?
So I said I should be a bit more strategic.
Yep.
Well, I need to track what views I get when I post at certain times and all that sort of wonderful stuff, don't I? Which I don't. So just not good. But I've got this links into the other social platforms as well. I've got a marketing person starting through the Kickstarter scheme, and so I'm going to give them other channels as a kind of thing to go and develop. But really, really get much tighter on knowing my numbers. So yeah. And if I could be a little bit more ahead in my content writing, then I'd be a bit more strategic about where I post. So one of the areas where I definitely need to do a bit better, to be honest with you. So
okay, cool. So I normally do questions at the end, so if anyone does have any questions, but this is pertinent right now, this minute, before we move on. So when all the platforms crashed a week or so ago, did you break into a sweat, or did you rejoice?
I just carried on with my evening as normal.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it was only because I was supposed to be on a group Facebook live thing from my mastermind. They had to move that to Zoom, and they have a WhatsApp chat that was going, and so people were freaking out. And I'm like, it's Facebook and WhatsApp. They will be live again in the morning. So while I love LinkedIn and it's a great way to network and build connections and things like that, if LinkedIn went down for 2 days, well, then I'd be fine. I would carry on with something else on my to-do list that needed to be done. I'm not I'd carry on as normal. Neither for me.
So Jonathan went back to sleep, so that's fine. So I've actually created this one for you, mate. There we go. I want to know, what is a collaboration junkie? Because that's the name of your business.
Yes.
So you're a collaboration dealer or something? What is it? What do you do?
Well, you know what? Yeah, I trade in the currency of collaboration. So no, I what did this come from? This came from the end of through the middle of 2019, really, realizing that I was falling out of love with the business that I was operating in. It had become quite insular, and not only that, but I wasn't off delivering personal value. It was probably the most successful a business I've been a part of was going, but I wasn't enjoying it. And it took a few months before I realized I knew what I wanted to do. And that was go a little bit more into me delivering value and really getting out there. And I was thinking about what I was going to do that on, and realized that every business that I'd been a part of was absolutely built on the foundations of partnerships, and really specifically around lead generation and word of mouth kind of referrals as well. I grew a membership organization to a couple of thousand members almost entirely through word of mouth and strategic partners. But then as a part of that, we were responsible for providing leads to huge multinational organizations, people like Volvo and Regis and Yale and Experian. And I've realized that I probably reached almost 1 million businesses through those channels. And I thought,
Wow.
well, you know what? This is something that I know as much about as anyone else, because I've been there, done that, made the mistakes or witnessed the mistakes, and decided, well, no one's out there really talking about this sort of stuff. And I live and breathe it. It's all I ever mentioned to people, kind of in terms of routes to market and things like that. So I was like, well, if I'm going to go and do that, I'm going to go and be the person that goes in that space and does it. And the Collaboration Junkie name, it's just about living and breathing that collaboration side of things. And I didn't want to be Dave Plunkett partnership consultant. That doesn't really suit me and what I do. I wanted something with a little bit more pizzazz. So it's almost a pre-qualifier as well, right? Because if someone didn't want to work with me because of the name of the business, well, then they're not the sort of person that I'm going to be that's going to enjoy working with me as an individual anyway, kind of thing. So
absolutely.
Yeah, but it's been really well received, and so that's why. And it's all about helping other business owners set up their partnerships and their collaborations, because I'm a big believer in work and life that if you're not enjoying it, you're not doing it right. Do you know what I mean? We're here for a good time, not a long time. And but I genuinely believe that if you can leverage something like partnerships in your business, it makes your business easier, which makes your business more enjoyable, which means you enjoy your life as a whole more. And so that's kind of right at the core of what I do, is enjoying myself and hopefully spreading that enjoyment to other people as well. So
Jonathan's just come up with a great question, and I've got to say the word. Jonathan, you can go off, people. So, in your opinion, does a collaboration require a reciprocity agreement of some kind? Or are you happy to let karma be flexible? Good question.
This is a very good question.
And so hang on, I've got one extra question there, Dave. Can you say that word?
Reciprocity?
Oh, yes, he can. I hit the park.
So that's because the law of reciprocity is a very powerful thing. And it does work. It doesn't always work directly with the other person. And so my answer to the question is going to be not always. So sometimes you make introductions to people, and you do that whole piece because it's just a good thing to do. And you know those people are going to get on, and that's why you're making that introduction, because you get known as someone who makes introductions. It means you're more likely to get those back, that reciprocity kicking in. However, if you're using this as a strategic piece of your business strategy to bring in leads on a consistent basis, then absolutely there needs to be a commercial agreement in place, I'd say. One thing I get asked quite a lot about kind of cross-referral agreements. Again, that's fine if it's loose and there's low expectations, but I think any referral arrangements that's based on there being an even switch of leads has a real big risk of kind of one party feeling a bit more resentful because the other one's getting more leads or providing leads. And typically your best partners for this type of partnership aren't necessarily the people that you can provide leads back for the other way. That's not kind of how it always works. So for me, I would have, if it's a proper strategic partner, I would have a relationship with that partner that's based on them providing me leads, and we work out what that reciprocal arrangement looks like. And if there was someone else where it worked that I could be a good source for them, well, then that would be a separate one on those. So I would, so yes, I would say not always, absolutely not always. It really depends on the nature of how formal the partnership is.
Yeah, no, good, jolly good question. And thank you for answering it so beautifully. We're already at our 15 minutes.
No way.
Yeah, that's how it is with this.
Wow.
So what challenges have you got at the moment with your business?
I'm a born opportunist.
Good
so
man.
just saying no or not now to stuff so I can really focus on doing the right stuff that I need to do now well. And I'm getting much better than that. I've got a big poster there that says just say no, and it's got a circus monkey there for not my monkeys, not my circus, just to keep me on the straight and narrow for where I am at the moment. So
yeah, that's great advice. A lot of people say yes to loads of different stuff and then end up letting people down.
Yeah.
And that makes it hard. What do you do when you're not working and when you're not on LinkedIn? What does Dave P do in his spare time?
Oh, right. So there's probably hints all around here. You can see a guitar of my own there, which I'm trying to learn. There's a record up there. So I like kind of my festivals and my club nights, like going up to Old Trafford in the football. Two young kids, 7 and 5. So they keep me busy. So just enjoying life, man. I've got so many, but typically it's crowd activities, that shared experience you get from being at a gig or a stadium. I'm off to see the Manic Street Preachers tomorrow, actually, which is not so much mine. That's my my new wife's kind of one of her fave bands. So we're going to see them in quite a small venue, but it'll just be nice to be in that environment again and just feel that. Oh, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Just that. Yeah. So that's me.
Fantastic. Absolutely superb. I don't know if anyone else got any questions, but you've been a lovely guest. I knew you'd be full of energy and great fun. So thank you very much indeed. My last question for you is, what tip would you give your 16-year-old self?
Have a little bit more faith in yourself.
Love it.
A little bit more belief in yourself. Absolutely.
Super duper. Well, you've got a lot of belief in yourself and you're doing some great stuff. If anyone wants to get hold of you, best place for that?
LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
I have the actual Dave Plunkett handle. So I am just Dave Plunkett. And if you put in Collaboration Junkie, there's not many of us about. So
absolutely.
So yeah, best thing to do is, we'd love to connect on LinkedIn. Yeah, absolutely.
Superb. Dave, thank you so much for coming along. Thanks to everybody for joining in with your lovely questions and your difficult to pronounce words. Next week, I've got my photographer coming on. So there she is, Aisling Magill. She's coming along. She's a photographic storyteller. So looking forward to catching up with her and grilling her. And don't forget, on Friday, we've got a little special. So thanks ever so much indeed, everybody, for coming along. How do I get rid of all of those? There we go. There he is. It's back to Dave. Guys, thank you very much indeed. Oh, we've got one more question coming in, have we? Just Jonathan saying it was a great interview. Hey, it's always a great interview if I've got someone wonderful to interview. So thank you for that, Jonathan. And we'll see you all next time, guys. Cheerio.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.